Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Call of Duty Mobile Western Europe Regional Playoffs. Today is Championship Sunday. My name is Bryce and I'll be bringing to you all the excellent Call of Duty action we have today. But I am not alone. Joining me here to kick things off, I have Tun and Tabes. First of all, Tun, how are you today?
Brycey, I'm feeling fantastic. I've had a good night of sleep. Just got a new puppy. She didn't keep me awake all night. I'm ready to bring the energy. I've had too much coffee and I'm ready to get in the games. We've seen some fantastic ones yesterday, and I just want more chaos. Just let me revel in it once more.
Well, it sounds like you've had just the right amount of coffee, but let's find out, Tabes, how are you?
Oh, I'm feeling pumped too as well. I feel as all the games that I was watching yesterday, it's just really got me in the mood to see this finals today. So I'm hoping we get provided with the gameplay that really matches up for what we are looking for a playoff Sunday.
Yeah, me too as well. But I tell you what, let's remind everyone at home what exactly has happened so far with all our teams and the bracket and the way it is playing out. Of course, we had a super amount of awesome games yesterday, but here's basically what happened. We ended up with our winners final. Cold Esports and Kings Clan are going to match up in one of our very first games. Tun, take me through Cold Esports' journey so far.
I mean, they really haven't had to do a great deal. After Q-Lash, they dropped a map. Hammers Esports, though, was obviously a very, very close game. I didn't catch that one myself because it was during my break, but I was catching little highlights here and there, and some of the players look very, very solid, and we've seen some fantastic play coming out of them. But Hammers Esports themselves did all right as things went on in the losers bracket as well. So I'm really interested to see if that matchup comes up again. But we've discussed how they're the favourites, and so far so good, but maybe they would have liked to be a little bit more clean heading into the winners finals.
No, 100% agree as well. And going against them, Kings Clan, obviously one of the favourites for this tournament. When you say, Tabes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been watching a couple of the Kings Clan's games there, and they seem pretty convincing. I also seen some really good plays and a lot of like the kill death ratio of some of their players on Kings Clan really are showcasing that they belong in this winners finals right now.
They certainly do. Well, those aren't the only teams we have in this so far, because there is, in fact, a lower bracket. It is a double elimination tournament, which means everyone here has another chance to get back into the grand finals. And that, in our losers semi, which will be coming up as well straight away, is Team Singularity versus Hammers Esports. Now, Team Singularity did great yesterday, in my opinion, managed to bring it all the way back in and stay in. And there were some great highlights coming out of them as well as Hammers Esports, who dropped in very early to this bracket. And we knew it was a big fish going in, wouldn't you say, Tug?
Yeah, definitely, especially after that game against Cole. That was a very, very good performance for them. Just pipped to the post in that final map, of course. So going up against the tournament favourites in such a way really does give you the indication that they're going to do well in that losers bracket. They did so straight away with a win over French Infinity. And Singularity the same, though. I mean, they were very, very close to Kings Clan. I think that's the good thing. I think when you've got two very close winners semi-finals, you're going to have a good rest of tournament, because you know the top four teams are with each other. Those top four teams then continue in the losers bracket if they lost that winners final, and then meet up with each other. So I think the three games that we have left today, maybe a fourth if it does extend in that grand final, will all be very, very close. So we should have a really good day of action.
No, 100% agree as well. And of course, a big thank you to Sony for supporting this and the mobile gaming community. This is all kind of sponsored by Xperia. They are the official mobile partner of Call of Duty Mobile and the COD Mobile World Championship 2020 tournament. All players, by the way, for competitive integrity, will be using the latest flagship Xperia smartphone, the Xperia 1 Mark II. And of course, you can see here great things like the 21:9 cinema wide. That is a huge screen, much bigger than 16:9 ratio, giving you plenty of space for your fingers and greater peripheral vision. Not only that, but Tabes, I know you got hands on with this. Do you want to take us through what your favorite things were?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit yesterday about the HS power control that basically keeps your phone cool even if you're gaming, and that is just like a big issue because there's quite a lot of power going into a game. But playing with the Xperia 1 Mark II, I'm actually really impressed. It's just kept cool, and I've been able to play a little bit better, even though we have kind of agreed I am kind of a Call of Duty mobile noob.
No problem. I mean, I've also seen that there's a motion blur reduction technology, right? And it kind of like gives a smooth effect of a 90 hertz refresh rate, which is incredible on a mobile phone.
Yes, absolutely. And we also got to remember that since it is a little bit bigger, there's also 120 hertz touchscreen refresh rate as well. So all your controls that you're putting into your phone are actually being responded to extremely fast.
No, I couldn't agree more. And obviously, we'll keep up with more details about why this is such a fantastic gaming mobile phone later on in this tournament. Because, like I said, every single player has one. So it's a fair, even playing field on what is a great mobile gaming device. But we need to move on from that to talk about what is happening today and what's at stake for these players. An awful lot of money currently on the line. And it is going to be the prize pool. $50,000 is a total prize pool. Of course, we are now only in the top four. If you manage to come first, it's $15,000. Second is $10,000. Third is $8,000. And fourth, guaranteed for every single team we are watching today, $5,000. That is not an insignificant amount of money, is it, Tom?
Absolutely not. I mean, in years gone by, it's a mammoth prize pool in any esport, really, isn't it? $50,000, especially for a weekend sitting at home. It's a nice one, it has to be said. But everyone aiming for that $15,000 prize pool at the very top, and I'm really not sure who's going to take it away here today.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's have a little look and see exactly who is up for playing today and what order they will be playing in. So, our very first game, Cold Esports versus Kings Clan in our winners finals. That is our first game coming up, and simultaneously we will be seeing Team Singularity versus Hammers Esports. After that, of course, will be our loser final straight away to find out who will make it to our very final game, the grand finals, at 4 p.m. BST, but it is an accelerated schedule, so keep an eye on it, because if the games go fast, we will keep right up with the action for this one. But I think it's time to talk a little bit about our first game, winners final. Both of these teams have not lost a single game yet in this tournament, so big stakes here for these guys, and obviously it is the first ticket to our grand final, right? We're talking Cold Esports versus Kings Clan. Ton, who have you got coming out this one first of all?
I mean, Kings Clan really did impress me yesterday, but I know Cold Esports looking like the favourites heading into this as well. Jim had a fantastic day yesterday, but looking towards some of the kill to death ratios, I bought a 1.55 over yesterday's games. A phenomenal return for him over those two series that we did see out of Cold Esports. So interested to see if he can keep it up against some tough opposition in Kings Clan, though. I'm going to stick with Kings Clan for today. I don't feel as if I can just... I'm not somebody who would like to predict something and flip back onto it just out of convenience. I'm going to stick true to my guns and stick with Kings Clan, but Cold Esports are going to be hard to beat.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Kings Clan then. Tabes, obviously, we already know Ton is a big fan of these, but what kind of stands out for you about this team?
The couple of games that we saw with them yesterday, I gotta think that Narcs, who were rocking the sniper a lot of the times, opening up a lot of space for his team. That's something that I'm hoping that he's going to see again today on the games. And it's also interesting that Narcs has actually mentioned that his biggest rival was Head for Death. And I mean, like, if these guys are as competitive as they seem, I think it's going to be a very good game today. I'm starting to wonder if Kings Clan might not be the guys who are going to bring this one home.
All right, well, we don't know. That's the great thing about this. Both teams have had great tournaments so far, but it is, of course, a brand new day, Championship Sunday, and there is that first ticket into the grand final. So how are we going to get there? Well, these are the maps and modes. We're going to start it off with Summit, Hardpoint, then Firing Range, Search and Destroy, Standoff, Domination, Crossfire, Hardpoint, and if we get all the way to the end, we will have a Meltdown, Search and Destroy. Ton, what stands out to you here?
I'm really looking forward to seeing if we're going to see that Crossfire Hardpoint. We haven't had a chance to see that live on stream just yet, as far as I'm aware, and myself personally anyway, so interested to see if we can get to a fourth map. But honestly, I'm interested on the Firing Range S&D. We know it can be a bit of a war of attrition, can't it, about who just finds that pick and then who makes that move towards the A bomb site. But honestly, I think it's a nice amount of maps. I don't think there's anything particular that stands out for either team. I'm just excited to see who takes this one away.
No, I couldn't agree more, and I think realistically this is one of the bigger games of today, simply because neither of these teams have lost, right? So you automatically have to put them up there as some of the favourites. Very realistic that either of these two teams will win this entire thing, so it is a battle of the Titans, and it looks like that game is ready to go. Cold Esports versus Kings Clan. Let's get right into it.
Well, here we go then, Tabes, into day number 2 and into the winners bracket final. As Bryce mentioned, neither one of these two teams have been defeated so far. Cold Esports taking on Kings Clan, and we will be heading over towards Summit first on Hardpoint. And for you, I mean, who are you favouring here? Because I know Cold are the favourites, but Kings Clan really impressed me with every single one of their games yesterday.
I'm really, it's going to be a tough game if you ask me. I'm just looking forward to seeing Kings Clan if they can really step up and lock this game down. I know I've been looking a little bit at Ver on Kings Clan's team there, and I'm hoping that he's going to be able to step up. He's been struggling on a couple of games, so I just saw when the game started there, he got a couple of kills, so I'm thinking maybe this is the day where he's actually going to wake up for Kings Clan.
There was definitely some moments from Ver yesterday, but of course, as mentioned, his KD not looking the best out of his team. Still in a 0.97, so he's not far off that 1 KD, which is what you really want to be aiming for. But right now, we are going to be heading over towards the catwalk. Let's have a look who is going to be the first ones there. It's looking as if Kings Clan are going to have control, but it's about having control of top lab as well. Angel inside the hardpoint. It has to be careful of these Molotovs coming in, but we can see the control for Cold Esports coming in up top, and that might allow them just to get control here. And now this should be a kill for Inferno, though. Can he clean up top? Can't find Sav, and that is going to be Cold Esports in control of the hardpoint.
You can already tell, though, that iBot is off to a pretty good start here. I see him in the kill feed popping off all the time. So maybe we saw a couple of plays from him yesterday. So I'm willing to keep an eye out for him. Maybe he's the guy who's going to be able to lock this this hard point down and get the even score line here.
Let's see then. I'm just looking towards these spawns and where everybody's going to be sitting here, and it's looking as if on the side of Cold, they're going to have the spawns going into P2. But looking on the right-hand side of your screen, we do have the losers match going on there as well. It looks like Hammers are having a good time of things on Hardpoint so far. 88-1 right now, looking good for them.
I'm looking forward to seeing Hammerpoint there, or Hammer Esport, of course. Sorry, they're have been really strong, and unfortunately, if you remember yesterday, they had a little bit of a mishap too during their game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can just look past that little technical difficulties, where a little bit of an AFK during mid game, basically on search and destroy and firing range, if I'm not misremembering. So I feel like maybe Hammer Esports is willing and also hungry for a comeback today.
There's actually Singularity in the lead there. I do apologize. Really dominating that first map. Just having worked towards the game attack, Singularity very much dominating. But in this one, Kings Clan have taken lead. It was looking as if Cold Esports did have that rotation over towards P3, but Kings Clan do manage to break on through nice and easily and will take up most of these points. 22 seconds remaining on this one, but it's a big old rotation over towards P4. They should be able to pick up the rest of this scrap, although one push comes through and Jim finds 3 just like that with the shotgun, and that's going to shut down every single bit of this scrap time. And yes, Big does go down and doesn't get a lot of time for his team, but what he's done there is push Kings Clan right back. Now they're going to spawn out towards the right hand side. They've got a longer route to get there and they don't get as much scrap points. Big play out of Jim.
I'm sure right now that Cold Esports were actually looking forward to that rotation they're already set up on it. And I was just impressed with Jim. Like, if you look at his shotgunning over this course of this tournament, I don't think anyone has anywhere near as many shotgun kills as he has. But you also know that he's good with the sniper. So once we're swapping over to maybe a little bit of a longer map, he's going to whip that one out again. And I'm hoping that we maybe get some jump shots or some quick scope from him as well. It's already 99 points here. There's not that much left done. So you still think that Kings Clan is going to be able to clutch this one home?
Well, I don't know. It's 25 seconds left on this one. Cold seem to be holding very well. Of course, we will now go back to the middle after this one. And oh my god, great shots by Yaya. Absolutely flying in and around the back of the map here. Looking towards his KD yesterday, the second highest on Cold with a 1.4. And he's going to be adding further to that one with this. 13 kills in this map so far.
Oh, it looks so easy for him. Look at this. He's kind of been flying under the radar as well. We have not really focused on him that much, but he's just getting consistent amounts of damage and kills for his team.
Deleting people across the map. Fantastic play from him, but back to the middle we go. Cold Esports did get a decent amount of time on this one last time round, but it's all about that rotation over towards P2. You want to have the gondola side spawn so you can try and lock them in for P3 as well, although we may not even get there. There's enough time on offer over these next 2 hills for one of these 2 teams to win it. Right now it's looking more and more like Cold Esports, but saying that, a few members do go down and Kings Clan will lock this one in. Good use of the incense and the stuns as well, just keeping them at bay as best they can. Cold Esports out in the cold in the ice. But look at the Goliath, that's coming on in now as well. All these score streaks are going to make a difference as Jim finds more. That's 3 kills for Jim up top. Fantastic plays from him. 12 kills for him in this map. And Cold Esports can lock this one in, but they can't win here. They have to win it at P2. They are still going to be at 10 seconds away or so by the time we get over towards this next hill. That's all for Kings Clan to do here.
I think it's going to be very hard for Kings Clans to take anything left here with Ibot on 19. Scratch that 20 kill with a Goliath. That's going to help tremendous amount for his team. I think it's going to be difficult for Kings Clan to do anything about it unless possibly they can hit some sort of RPG or rocket on that Goliath.
Just needs to stay alive up top here. If they can lock down this control, it's very difficult for Kings Clan to push on through. Yaya in the hill, he's going to manage to find a kill down there as well. There's nobody else near it. Cold Esports will take map number 1 in the winners bracket final.
That is impressive. I did not expect that to happen as quickly. I think that the Goliath could have been a big impact. I'm starting to wonder if Ibot might be one of the people that we want to look forward to for an MVP spot for this tournament, because he's just been getting kills consistently all over.
No, I think he's been great. And obviously, Cold Esports there, they looked like they were in a little bit of trouble about halfway through that hard point, but ended up coming back there. And obviously, you know, Jim had a big hold on by the ice hard point. So it's really interesting to see these two go to war. I did say before we got started, you know, both these 2 teams incredibly talented. So it should be a close game. And when you get a comeback like that from Cold Esports, you get a really good rotation and bring themselves right back into the game. It shows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like, they weren't in a great place. They started prioritizing the rotations, and then when they started to get it, they basically didn't allow Kings Clan to get any more points on the map. I think that I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was probably less than 10 after that switch.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very, very difficult. Of course, that transition over towards P4 towards the ice, you can really lock that down, can't you? You just force these numbers out and the small choke points that Kings Clan now then have to get through. So it makes it very, very difficult for them to make that push, and they just lock it down very, very well, do Cold, and from there it's plain sailing. You've got such a big lead. You just keep it scrappy in the middle, head over towards P2. You've got the Goliath up top. You're laughing. It's easy. It's easy from that point. So Cold Esports played that very well.
It certainly does. It's always going to be intimidating when the Goliath is anywhere on the map. We sit there and I look at him like, as a player, I wouldn't even know where to begin to try and take one down. And that's why I like to see the Goliath versus Goliath battles. Right? It's basically like whoever wins this one, it comes out with just a big advantage for their team. But it depends for me, especially on what kind of map you're running it on, whether or not it'll be as effective. And as we saw there, incredibly effective on some, it turns out.
Yeah, and I think it's just the position they decided to use it in as well. Locking up that top lab control when it's moving over towards the railings hard point. Crucial. You have to do it. You can't have players on the opposite side of the team jumping down from up top. There's so many different angles they could come at you from. So if you have control of the hard point and rails and up top, you can lock down so many points. And it was a very, very clean end to the hard point there.
All right, well, let's talk about the next map. Search and Destroy is going to be our next game mode here. And obviously, it's all on Cold now to keep this lead. And it turns out it has started. So let's hand it back over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Bryson. Over towards firing range we go. I'm expecting a lot of sniper play coming out here. And this is when we did see quite a lot from King Clan. Nox has been fantastic with the sniper so far this weekend. It's not Team Singularity against Hammers Esports. We're still in this winners bracket final. But Nox, what can he do with his sniper? He's been so influential for his team here, Tabes. Can he prove to be influential once again in the winners bracket final?
I'm hoping that we are going to be able to see him really pop off. I mean, he's been getting a lot of important frags, but right now it's kind of a slow push of both teams. Nobody really willing to show themselves. So it's pretty much anyone's game right now. It's interesting for Team Singularity that seem to be a very even team, except maybe for Narcs who's stepping up a little bit. So it's anyone's game right now.
Well, Inferno gonna have to get the hell out of there now. Kings Clan pressure coming on. They're gonna have to back on down. No kills coming in, but the longer that this goes on, the better it is for the defensive side. They've just got to hold for that a little bit less. Now here comes the push. Inferno pushes up. Is he going to be the bait? I'm not too sure. Bot gives it a little shoulder check, but there we go. We can see that the site has been completely taken over by Kings Clan. That bomb will now be going down, and it will have to be Cold Esports to get back in here and retake this site. Could it be the grenade from Yaya?
The call-out could have came a little faster for Cold Esports there. I mean, they were actually having a lot of time to just kind of push in before Ibot there, who was closest, did the call-up, and now it's just a brawl. It's just people dying left and right that I'm going to need you done to. It's a little faster than me at speaking to take this away.
It's already done. It's already done.
Yeah, it was so fast.
The Molotov goes onto the bomb, but it's not going to make a difference. That one's now going to get defused. Well played by Cold Esports. And it gets opened up by a kill from Jim. Manages to find 2 kills in the end there with the sniper. And that just opens things up for Cold Esports to try and retake. They do so successfully.
I'm wondering if the slow push there, I'm thinking it was about 35, 40 seconds left on the clock there when they actually started pushing towards A. And as you say, the longer it goes, the better it is for the defending side. So, I mean, they did a retake that was just incredibly fast, obviously. So I'm wondering if they might have to play a little bit more aggressive if they want to get that bomb down fast.
That bomb has went down fast. I think the biggest issue was holding last time, though, wasn't it? They got through nice and clean, so it was a 5v5 hold. This time round, though, let's see if they can do one better. Cold Esports did manage to get back in here fairly quickly, and they're using the smokes very, very well. Put themselves in a position where they can just disrupt what Kings Clan are doing. Do they know that Via is still in that back left corner? Yes, they do, but Inferno's going to go down as Yayo finds 1, not 2. Fantastic plays from him. Exito is going to find 1 inside the trailer. He should go down. He does go down. Jim finds another 2 with the sniper. And this retake from Cold is far too easy. Really showing why they are the favorites so far in this tournament. Very clean,
very convincing on that retake. And also I was certain that maybe, I think it was Vern hiding there on the left side when they were pushing in. I was certain that they were not aware that he was hiding, but turns out that Cold Esports might have ice in the back of their neck.
I think they spotted him. He was behind the bomb site. The smoke went down and he had to push over there because he got injured by the Molotov. So the hit marker would have come through and they would have noticed he was there. That bomb was going down very, very fast once again. Third time's the charm maybe for King's Clan on holding this one. I don't know whether they just
do
need
something different this time, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's
they're
the
getting
problem.
the bomb down, which is huge, but is it going to be enough? Ibot gets hit by the molly, but I think he manages to survive, yeah.
I think it's just a case of trying to win your gunfights, which is something they have not been doing so far. Cold, though. Can they retake once again? No kills have went down quite yet. Ibot is the first to go, though, and here comes the advantage for King's Clan. Spiky is going to go down as well. Sav is there to answer back, but Veer comes in with 2. It's not what he could do in the previous 2 rounds, but he finds 2 kills in and around the bomb site, and it's an easy cleanup for the boys on King's Clan. 2-1 now. They're back in the...
That's exactly what they needed, and also I'm so glad to see Ver getting 4 kills already on only 3 rounds played. That's going to give him some confidence. Hopefully he's going to be able to step up, and it looks like it's going to be another A play here. Maybe this is going to be the favorite one, and soon, once they realize that maybe Cold Esports is suspecting it, that's going to be turning around. I think that grenade exploded in the hands of XC.
Ibot is going to get traded out, so 4 versus 4. That bomb is now down. Inferno's going to cut off the point from the mid-map in a trailer with that incend, of course. That's going to get broken in just a second. He should have a very, very weak Sav pushing through, finds the kill as well. And this is much, much better from King's Clan as they find another round in very similar fashion. And if you're Cold, you're disappointed with that. The first 2 rounds, they did exactly the same thing. King's Clan, they couldn't get the hold in the first 2 rounds. The next 2 rounds, they do exactly the same thing again, but you can't manage to get the retake. So good adaptation by King's Clan. But Cold Esports have to ask the question of how it wasn't working. What were they doing right in the first 2 rounds that went wrong in the last 2?
Yeah, I mean, right now, the King's Clan, they have started to bring their rounds down. And also, this is going to be huge for them. Just confidence-wise, losing the first map and then getting a couple of easy rounds like this, I think that's going to be able to change the outcome of the game to their favor if possible.
It's now 5v3. 2 players that went down on the side of Cold Esports. Spiky and Sav get dropped. And King's Clan, I like this rotation. It looks like they're going towards B. They give it the juke out, and it's going to actually come down to 2 members in the middle of the map. It's going to be number 1 and number 5 for Cold Esports. Keep an eye on them. Are they going to even be able to see this happening? As it looks as if King's Clan have went all the way around. Ibot is now made the push over the wood. It does look like Jim is ready for it, but there are only 3 people available for Cold Esports to actually hold this A push. Jim's going to find 1. Inferno, though, does push out the other side. Yaya finds 1 in mid as well, but they do actually have Ibot pushing around behind. Yaya is going to go down in the mid, so it's down at Ibot. Now in a 1 versus 3. Has someone close on him, and the bomb planter is going to be going for as well. That bomb is going down, and he needs to find this kill at the back of the map. Cannot find it. Knocks with good shots. That's 3 rounds in a row for King's Clan. Looking very, very good for them.
This has to be what they wanted after losing the first 2 rounds, especially. And I'm just glad to see Narcs hitting some of their snipes. I was certain when Ibot realized that he was behind him that an AR versus a sniper, usually the AR will win on that range, but Narcs hit a lovely snipe to shut him down.
He did play that very, very well. Can he continue, though? Going off yet? At this moment in time, they are up, but Cold Esports showed that they can defend very, very well. I'm curious to see if they can keep it going, but at this moment in time, it's not went very well for them the last 3 rounds. 5v5 momentarily, but Cold Esports are going to lose 1 man and another. XZ going to find 2, is only eventually shut down by Jim. Look at this gunfight towards the back crates as well. Spiky's going to win that one. Can he find a second as well? That's really big plays from him. It's now a 1 versus 2. He's finding 2 very, very big kills. Does he know there's somebody on his right-hand side? There's another one as well. There's the 3rd. Can you give him the 4th as well? Spiky, my goodness gracious me. That is a phenomenal round from him. He survives at the back, finds a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. That is one of the highlight plays of the tournament so far. Spiky keeps them in the game. 3 apiece now, and it's all down to Spiky at the back.
It all looked so easy for him as well. That's kind of what you want to see, using that QQ9 in just close quarters, being able to turn around really fast and just locking down the site. I was certain that when you're actually 1v3 in that situation, basically, that you're going to lose. But he played that really well and also hit the shots just before the enemies could.
Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done from Spiky. That's a big, big round as well. Instead of being 3-3, that would have been 4-2 to King's Clan if he doesn't clutch up. A technical 1v4 for him there. Phenomenal players out of Spiky, and he only had 1 kill up until that point as well. Jim's going to hit a shot as well, but we'll have to back on down after not making it count. Oh, he did, sorry. Nox is going to go down, so Jim now with the bomb and 7 kills to his name has been performing very well with that sniper rifle on this map. It was Nox he found as well, who's the sniper specifically on King's Clan. There's another kill going to come in. iBot finds the shot onto Inferno, and this is looking like a cold esports round. It looks like they're heating up just a little bit now. After a good start, they lulled in the middle, but they really have started to play a lot better on the attack yet.
It has to be because of the Spiky's play there. They've probably got them all pumped up, ready to go and play a little bit more aggressive, which is really good when you're playing on firing range. And that's what we talked about before. This is a very small map. You can actually sprint pretty far in a short period of time. So I feel like as long as they keep up playing aggressive, it's going to be a good game here. Shotgun inside trailer.
It's going to get taken down though. There you go. 4-3 to Cold now. Couldn't do anything in that situation. Always very difficult. 2 rounds away for Cold though.
If they bring this round home, I think it's gonna really rattle King's Clan. I mean, the second game, and that would also mean that they are down by 2. So I think this round might be one of their more important in this series. And pretty much, I'm guessing that Narcs might have to wake up a little bit with that sniper in the back. If he can get 1 pick early, that could really change the outcome of this round.
I mean, if he can just even match Jim, it puts him in such a better spot. They're down by 1 round, but he is down by 4 kills, I should say, up against Jim. But he's really been fantastic with this so far. Was considering the plan over towards A, but will back it on down, not feeling confident enough on his own.
He's also saving that trophy system. I think he wanted to put it down maybe a little bit closer to the bomb site as well. Oh, now Jim gets the snipe on Narcs, and that is the sniper battle that we wanted to see, but maybe not in favor for King's Clan. I think they're really going to feel the pressure now.
They will do. XZ, though, is going to be able to find a kill. Spiky's, Yaya and Sav combining well. Suddenly, though, it is a 3v1. Cold Esports now looking to go 5-3 up. XZ, he's not in the best position to use the shotgun. Yaya will find the shots, though. Very nicely done. 5-3 now to Cold.
Now I feel like it's all going to be up to getting the first pick for Cold Esports. We'll say for King's Clan, sorry. If they can get the first pick, I think they can do it. Otherwise, I think this map is going to go the Cold Esports way.
It's looking that way. King's Clan getting very aggressive on the defensive side of things. Are they going to be ready for this Cold Esports? I don't think they are. Jim, though, pistol out, finds one. Can he find anything else as well? Vieira's going to take him down, but they did not expect that push out of King's Clan. We like to see those brave kind of players when you're down and nearly out. 3v3 now. Shots going in from Spiky.
Also in the moment when the opponents are expecting you to play a little bit more passive, maybe not with confidence. I think that was a great in-game leader. If they were someone to calling out, we gotta play a little bit aggressive now, put some pressure on them, maybe get an early pick. The bomb is down though. In the middle of the map.
Not the best place for it to be. Yep, very exposed. Unfortunately, it was where Jim went down. He's typically the bomb carrier for Cold, and that's exactly why we're seeing King's Clan set up here. Nox and Inferno have the long angles to watch as well. Did they see Yaya make the move across? That is the question. Are they going to see the shots coming in on the right-hand side? That's going to be from iBot. Yaya up top, iBot shooting as well. Where's these gunfights going to go? Nox goes down, Inferno trades it out against Yaya. But does he see iBot pushing up the long side of the map? No, he does not. And iBot finds the kill to find the map. That's Cold Esports, 2 to the good in the winners bracket final. But let's have a look at what's going on here on the other side of things. It is Singularity against Hammers once again. And Singularity 3v1 now to go 6-4 and 2-0 up in this series. And just like that, Singularity maybe a little bit of an upset there. We really thought that Hammers would be going good in that losers bracket semi-final, but Singularity looking very good there as well.
Well, speaking of Singularity looking good, now, while you guys were entertaining everybody with the casting, I went and actually had a look at our stats team. Doing a great job, by the way. But I had the statistics for that first game of Hammer Singularity, and Singularity obviously went 1-0 up, but the score in that first half point was actually 150-11. So Singularity have come to play here on Championship Sunday, so I wouldn't even count them out at the point. They seem to have really found another gear to push forward.
Yeah, looking very, very good from them. I'm just inspecting them myself as well. A big game from Slayer. A huge game. 17 kills from him. And then the other side of things, players like Dravi, who you would be expecting to do a lot better, only 8 and 11 from him. So I think looking at that side of things, a very, very slow slaying game this morning from Hammers. You would expect a lot more from them, considering how well they looked in the losers bracket side of things and how far they pushed Cold Esports yesterday in the winners bracket semi-finals. I mean, you would expect them to be doing better.
No, you 100% would. Well, we'll find out if they can do better just after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. We are going to have map 3 on both games coming up right after this.
You know what phrase we can finally retire? Good. For a mobile game. Fun fact, Sony's been getting the best out of entertainment and technology for, like, ever. And Call of Duty has been making games since, well, before some of us were born. Isn't it about time we had a mobile gaming experience that's just good, period? Maybe even great? Turns out we do. Call of Duty made the impossible mobile game with Call of Duty Mobile, and Sony made the impossible smartphone for gamers with Xperia. I can get the edge with wider than widescreen, enhance my game literally with Game Enhancer, share my epic wins with the flick of a finger, and do it all while I keep my cool with HS Power Control. It's casual when I want to kick back, and core when I need to kick butt. It's the gaming experience built with me in mind. Sony brought the gear, and Call of Duty brought the game. Sony's Xperia plus Call of Duty Mobile. Because gamers deserve great, wherever we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Mobile Western Europe Regional Playoffs. My name is Bryce, and we are bringing you the map 3s from both our games currently going on. It is, of course, Hammers versus Team Singularity and Cold Esports versus Kings Clan, and they are fantastic so far, but they are both 2-0. Ton, is this going to go to Swift 3-0s or not?
It's looking that way. You know, the maps have been convincing when we've had a look at the stats from each of them. Both these two teams are dominating so far. Singularity coming hot out the gates, especially in that first hard point, looking very, very good. Cold, maybe a little bit closer in our winners bracket final, of course, going up against Kings Clan, but they have looked comfortable. I think that's probably the fair way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been plain sailing, but they haven't really looked too flustered whatsoever, have they? There was a couple of rounds maybe in the SD where they thought, okay, well, what's going on here? And they just flipped the switch as soon as they got on the attack. So very well played by Cold so far. They're looking very, very good, essentially for the whole thing here.
That's fair enough. Tate, I'm going to ask you now, what do you think they have to do, Kings Clan, to come back into this now? What next gear? How do they redeem themselves and get that ticket to the grand finals?
I think there might be some positive mental attitude that needs to be coming out of King's Clan, because if you take a look at Jim right now in Cold Esports, he seems to be playing with a lot of confidence. They might need to shut him down first and foremost, and I think in Narcs he did lose that sniper battle once, and that's something that you can get in the back of your head and might affect your game. So I'm hoping we get taken to more Call of Duty. I'm hoping we don't get a 3-0 sweep here and actually King's Clan doing a little bit of a comeback, maybe just shutting down Jim early in a round or something like that, rattle his cage a little bit.
Well, we'll have to find out. It is obviously a long way back for these teams. King's Clan now have to win 3 back-to-back without dropping a single one. Can this be the start of their journey? Let's jump straight into it. Over to our coverage.
Well, into the domination we go, and can King's Clan turn this one around? They're going to need a reverse sweep if they want to stay on the winner's portion of the bracket. And back over towards standoff we go, but this time on domination. Haven't seen this one so far myself this weekend, Tapes. Anything specific to look out for here, or just a pretty standard domination map?
I mean, standoff, as we said before, is one of the very classic Call of Duty maps. And B flag, you can actually look down from the balcony and Grandma's house towards that flag. And if you manage to lock it down, it's kind of like doing a little bit of a meat shield. You want to throw players over on B, cap it, and then instantly get an Overwatch look from maybe Grandma's house or one of the other balconies. Because this is a very intense map. And also, the points that you want to be picking up are pretty far away. And then once you lock down B, it's going to be just a slaughter. There's where you want to go, and you see Cold Esports have already locked it down.
Cold Esports looking very, very good right now. They are going to manage to lock down A and B. Let's go for an Xperia dial-in with Cold Esports.
2 on C, 2 on C.
Top grandma's, Spikey's holding you. He's weak, bro, he's weak.
Push, I'm on top blue, push through.
I'm coming tractor with you again, Yaya.
Oh, grab Spikey.
They just keep smoking out tank, bro. One's on the fence, dead. One more, dead.
Oh, he got me.
Got the trade.
Oh, I'm burning, bro. Yeah, I'm burning. I'm just gonna hide.
Keep thermite in B when that's respawn.
One's boxes. Box is dead. One more, B, dead. Good map control.
One left, he pushed me.
We've got him spawn shot, Keep him
nice,
there.
bro, nice, Spikey. Good shit, bro.
Don't let him get any kills, man.
Oh, two more grannies. Just keep slaying them, let's fucking go.
Bro, just slay them out, bro. No streets for them, fam. No streets for them.
Top grannies on.
Top factory. He pushed up.
Oh, they're pushing A. There's one
Dead. He's pushing up B. Dead B. I mean, A. I have tractor control, bro. Tractor control's all mine, fam.
Top grannies as well.
Bro, it's too easy. Oh, got him. They push me boxes. He's on statue right now. Yeah, he's on statue. I'm spawning C. Spawning down.
Bro, cool.
Wow, you can tell that the communication and the it feels like Cold Esports are just playing so positive. Oh, what is going on? Triple from iBot that fast with the war machine. That was 4. Excuse me, sorry. I mean, if you listen to that Xperia dial-in, they're feeling confident, and it's also very calm in the callouts, and they're managed to lock down the first half with 75 towards 43. It's looking pretty convincing. This might be a 3-0
Can we just take a step back and just appreciate what iBot just did there? Yasuke's got the war machine, but he just split King's Clan from getting a hold of that 2-cap towards the end. Yasuke wouldn't have made a great deal on the back end of the map, I don't think, let's be honest, but wow, just finds the kills in the middle, cleans them up for the end of the round, and now we're kicking off into the second half, and Cold Esports have a 30-point lead. Phenomenal from them, phenomenal from Cold so far.
They're really putting the pressure on King's Clan to do something here. I mean, they already have so many points, but we're also watching on our other screen here the losers bracket, which is Team Singularity versus Hammer Esports. And Hammer Esports, how are they doing? This is the team that have had a little bit of unluckiness here, and they're also down by 2 points. What do you think, Ton? Are they going to be able to do a comeback?
I don't know, man. It just seems as if they've come in a little bit cold this morning, so we'll keep an eye on what's going on there. But this one, still, nobody able to capture B so far in the beginning of this second round, of course, as we head into the second half, I should say. But Cold Esports still in the dominating position here. As said, I still have about a 30-point lead. And honestly, it suits them. The longer that B is not captured, the better for them. It gives less time for players like Nox to start kicking off in and around this point. But Bot is going to find him once again. Another double kill for him. He's been phenomenal for his team. Right now, 16 kills. But look at Sav. He's sitting on 19 now. This
He's just
MP5 in the middle of
his game of his life here.
He's frying. He's going to still keep on going. The grab spikes as well. Oh my goodness. Another 3 for Sav. And every single player on Cold Esports just has their moments where they pop off left, right, and center. And it's just so consistent. They should be able to get a hold of B here as well if they can clean up XZ, who's going to be running around with a shotgun. He is still going 22 kills and 23 kills and counting. My goodness, Sav. They're going to get B for all of his efforts as well. He is dominating middle of the map for his team.
This is absolutely crazy. This is the type of Call of Duty that you want to be able to tune in on. I mean, Cold Esports, I got to take the hat off of them right now. It looks like this is going to be a sweep with a 3-0 towards King's Clan. I'm still hoping that maybe they can whip out an ace up their sleeve and get this B flag down, but it has to be now. Otherwise, the time is already ticked away way too much.
Sav, now what can he do yet?
It's 26 kills on this domination on standoff.
I mean, if you look at it on the other side of things, all things considered, King's Clan not that far behind, it has to be said. Yes, okay, it's a good 40 points, but really, looking at the slaying potential on the side of King's Clan, they're really nowhere near, but still, yes, they are in touching distance in this game. Well, it could be done now as the 3-cap gets locked in for Cold Esports. King's Clan are just going to get further and further away. The 3-cap for them would have caught them up pretty quickly within a minute or so, but Cold Esports, we said that they're the favourites heading into this tournament. They're 2-0 up in this one. They're looking to close out this series. We can see a bit of a spawn trap coming in as well towards the garage side. They have been dominant. They've come in, they've had their coffee this morning, and they ain't coming in cold. They're coming in very, very hot. Cold Esports are going to surely walk away as winners yet. In map number 3,
wow.
This one is done and dusted. Cold Esports will take your winners bracket final 3-0. And that is a hellishly convincing game.
Well, Cold Esports have certainly turned up today. They have just put King's Clan to bed and down into the lower bracket in what can only be described as dominating fashion, right? There was very little to go for it. Sav obviously just went berserk in the middle of the map. We heard the Xperia dial in. They basically said, just keep slaying. No streaks for them, no streaks for them, right? That's a whole new level of confidence to just say, hey, just keep winning your gunfights. Don't worry about anything else. They're not talking about, rotations or getting cuts. There's no panic there from there, right? So they are just going absolutely insane. But we will, of course, catch up with the rest of the games in just a little while and find out, who's going to be playing Cold Esports in the grand final ticket they've just got. We are going to go to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You know what phrase we can finally retire? Good. For a mobile game. Fun fact, Sony's been getting the best out of entertainment and technology for, ever. And Call of Duty has been making games since, well, before some of us were born. Isn't it about time we had a mobile gaming experience that's just good, period? Maybe even great? Turns out we do. Call of Duty made the impossible mobile game with Call of Duty Mobile, and Sony made the impossible smartphone for gamers with Xperia. I can get the edge with wider than widescreen. Enhance my game literally with Game Enhancer. Share my epic wins with the flick of a finger. And do it all while I keep my cool with HS Power Control. It's casual when I want to kick back, and core when I need to kick butt. It's the gaming experience built with me in mind. Sony brought the gear, and Call of Duty brought the game. Sony's Xperia plus Call of Duty Mobile. Because gamers deserve great, wherever we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Mobile Western Europe Regional Playoffs. My name is Bryce, and we just have had our first 2 games of the day. And I'll tell you something, those games went pretty quickly, didn't they? 2 3-0s for our game. Not exactly what I was expecting in the Final 4, but it turns out there are new levels these players can ascend to, and ascend they did. Let's talk quickly about the Hammers versus Singularity game, because Singularity 3-0'd Hammers as well, and it didn't look that close apart from on the Search and Destroy ton.
No, it didn't look close whatsoever, did it? I mean, let's just give a report towards domination. It's 150 to 88 as well. Phenomenal play out of Singularity. Honestly, when everyone was talking about today's games and who we expected to come out of the losers bracket, Hammers had to be it. I was expecting Hammers to win this game and then probably come up against King's Clan potentially and then want to win that as one as well. But we've seen they had a very close game against Cold yesterday, and Cold have just demolished King's Clan. So clearly something not right on the Hammers esports side of things this morning. Looking very, very slow for them. They drop out in miserable fashion as well. It's not like they just lost a close game and they'd be like, oh, you know, we were unlucky. They got smoked. They got smoked. So I mean, it's a big time.
Well, this is
they got
right?
smoked, pricey.
I'm aware of what happened to the team, Tanner, okay? I'm trying to move us on to... Because there's a great tie-in, right? Hammers obviously played Cold earlier on, and Singularity just took them down in big fashion. So can we get any sort of, like, influence on whether or not Singularity are in a better form now, or Hammers had an off day? I'll tell you what, I'll tell you who will know. Let's go speak to Jim from Cold Esports and see what he thinks about what's been going on. Jim, I'm hoping you can hear me and I can hear you. How are you?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. I'm good, thanks. We're doing great today. We're doing absolutely great today.
You certainly are. I'm not going to deny that in any way, shape or form. But first of all, congratulations on getting to the grand final.
Yeah.
You are the first team to make it there. And if you don't mind me saying, in really dominating fashion, like, what is this extra gear you found today?
Well, I think it comes down to yesterday. We were having some minor issues connection-wise. A lot of the games, if I'm honest, we played were 4v5. Today we're running on all 5 cylinders. All 5 of the players have got perfect internet. You're going to see a different team today, and that's a promise.
I look forward to it. I also heard the communications from our Xperia dial-in for your team, and it seemed actually pretty calm. You know, I think I heard the call out, you know, don't let them get streaks, just slay, just slay, just slay. I'm guessing that's just a level of confidence in the team right now today, just going, hey, we're just going to continue to put the hammer down.
Yeah, well, after we got the 2-0 lead and we went into the domination game, the adrenaline took over. We were just too pumped, too ready for it. Cold on top, Cold came out on top, as expected for us.
Hey, it was a great performance, but I've also, in my notes here, I've been looking at it, says you are the team leader in and out of games. So what do you kind of put in and how do you lead your team through these matches, and especially now, right? It's Championship Sunday. Is it a pep talk or is it just cool, calm and collected?
It comes from past pro experience, really. It's knowing when to push where, and it's mostly organisation and making sure everyone's happy within the team, everyone's comfortable in their role, which we've been friends in Cold Esports for a very long time. We're all very comfortable, and we all know what we're doing.
That's great to hear. I like to hear that a good friendship in the team is always something I look forward to. I did have a technical question for you, because I am not a super expert in Call of Duty Mobile, but I've been looking at the operator weapons people keep kind of bringing out here, and I noticed that you had quite a diverse portfolio of them in that last game, and whereas most teams end up kind of running 4 Annihilators and maybe Tempest or Grav Spikes, you actually had basically the whole collection, right? You had Annihilator, Gravity Spikes, Tempest, and a War Machine. Is there a reason you've gone for that specific loadout, or is it just personal preference?
It's personal preference on half, about 50%, but it's more because it's all situational. You can use Annihilators, for example. Yeah, they're great to clear out a team, but it's just one thing that everybody can do. If we've all got different things, it's diversity, it works well for us, so we're going to carry on doing it.
Awesome. All right, fair enough. Well, I have one last question for you, and it is kind of a big one, okay? So Team Singularity just took down Hammers Esports in pretty dominating fashion. So they are now going to be playing the team you just beat, King's Clan. Would you like to weigh in with a prediction of who you think you're going to be playing in the grand final?
So that is a big question. I honestly think...
Sorry, it is.
If Kings can pick their game up a little bit, they will make a return. They're a very strong team. Narks is a great sniper as well. just couldn't get it today. But Singularity as well, I'd like to see them there. We put them down as our rivals. So it's whoever we end up playing against, it's going to be good competition, and we're going to make the most out of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for talking to us here on the broadcast. I'll let you go rest, recuperate, and get ready for the grand final. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
No problem. All right. Well, there you go, guys. You heard from Jim himself. Seems pretty confident and relaxed now they've got into it. And he said, our adrenaline was flowing map 3. We are ready on all 5 cylinders today, Tabes.
Yeah, I mean, he also doesn't even seem to really care that much which one they're going to be facing in the finals. I mean, he was just seemed like a very relaxed. And also, I mean, after a game like that, what else can you do? And just pat yourself on the back and just say good job. So, I mean, as we said also, I mean, in the comms, it's also very easy sometimes when you are stomping another team to kind of lose a little bit of focus, but they were still keeping calm even though they had the adrenaline pumping, as he said.
Oh yeah, 100%. And they do seem confident. Like you said, I think one of the things that, I mean, I'll forgive him for not giving me an accurate prediction. He kind of led towards King's Clan, I feel. But he did say, we don't mind whoever we play here. We've already beaten King's Clan. Team Singularity we've put down as our rivals, so we're happy to face whoever. And I can see why, right? They've had a great performance here, and obviously we're going to now see King's Clan go against Team Singularity just in a little bit, and that may give us a better benchmark of how those two teams end up stacking against each other.
Yeah, hopefully so, and it's going to be interesting to see, especially with how Singularity dealt with Hammers Esports, where King's Clan's heads are at as well, because they just got dominated themselves. Singularity coming off the back of a really big win. It will be interesting to see where they lie with each other, but at the same time, it's going to be, for me, interesting to see if King Clan can recuperate and regain after that one, because they were coming into this undefeated, and they, as I mentioned a few times, got smoked. So, I mean, they need to come in here and just get themselves in the right headspace, or they are going to really struggle against Singularity. Really, really struggle. They've already had a very close game against them, and to be honest with you, they were much better than Singularity, but Singularity clutched up. But if Singularity are going to play as well as they just did against Hammers there, they're going to be really, really difficult to beat this time around.
No, 100%. And obviously, we are watching the highlights of the Singularity Hammers game, and you can see, right, it was pretty even in that domination, and then all of a sudden a switch got flicked and it went right out the way. The other big thing we spoke about is that first half point. It was 150-11. That speaks volumes about just how well Singularity are potentially playing today. It is a scary prospect for any team, especially King's Clan, who've just come off a pretty big loss themselves. So very much probably a difference in the mental state of these two teams going into this, especially with the stakes on the line, Tapes.
Yeah, I mean, if you just imagine how much money it's actually on the line as well. I mean, we're just in for an absolute treat of Call of Duty Mobile esports.
We certainly are, and I think for me, I'm struggling to feel, because the biggest problem I'm having so far is that both those games were so dominating that it's difficult to kind of pull highlights out of them, because both teams obviously just put on a show, right? It's one of those ones where could they have made little mistakes here and there? Well, no. Basically, in the hard points and the DOMs, it was very, very one-sided. Search and Destroy, obviously always round-based, but 6-4 and 6-3, I believe the two scorelines were in both the games we ended up just watching. How much do you end up pulling from it? Because for me, I don't know realistically how I think this game's going to go, right? They played yesterday. We did say Hammers were better, but Singularity looked better today. Ton, any way to split these two teams?
I mean, honestly, yesterday they were very, very close, as we mentioned. It comes down to Singularity clutching up time and time again. But this morning, to see their players, Slayer and Miney, doing so well, they had like a combined 50 kills on that domination between them. That's insane on such a short mode, specifically like domination. It seems as if it's going to come down to who's playing on the day. We've just seen King's Clan ain't playing. They ain't doing anything. Who was called esports on that side of things? Cold Hand Esports is what King's Clan should be called, because they weren't doing anything at all. It was yeah. So I honestly, if they play like that again against Singularity, who seemingly are frying this morning, then they're probably going to get smoked again. They need to step up their game. They need to go, maybe just run their hands under some cold water, something like that.
Yeah, wash your hands. It's always a good trick before you're doing it.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Have you not heard about this? You're supposed, if you have an important game, maybe I'm recommending right now for Singularities, you just go wash up your hands. You're going to play a little bit better.
Yep.
This is an actual tip.
Only that,
I've heard it.
I mean, just generally wash your hands generally generally anyway. Many
Especially
benefits.
now, yeah, for
many,
sure.
Many benefits. And also an added benefit that it'll keep your phone clean. And I suppose,
Exactly.
at that point, we should probably give a shout out to Sony for providing all the players with their latest flagship smartphones, the Xperia 1 Mark II, to use during the competition. For you watching, if you do want to learn more about the gaming features in the Xperia 1 Mark II, you can visit the Sony Europe YouTube channel, just in the link you can see on your screen right now. And if you really want to kind of look at their phones as well, you can look at the Xperia 5 Mark II that has also been on sale. Comes with a 120 Hz display refresh rate and a 240 Hz touch scanning rate. So fantastic mobiles here, and every single player in this competition is using the exact same thing with its cinema wide, with its heat suppression technology, and everything else that Sony has done to optimize it for Call of Duty Mobile. Well, I'm guessing we're going to go in ready for our next game. It will be the losers final coming up next. So we're going to go to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. More action here at the Call of Duty Mobile Western Europe Regional Playoffs right after this.
You know what phrase we can finally retire? Good. For a mobile game. Fun fact, Sony's been getting the best out of entertainment and technology for ever. And Call of Duty has been making games since well before some of us were born. Isn't it about time we had a mobile gaming experience that's just good, period? Maybe even great? Turns out we do. Call of Duty made the impossible mobile game with Call of Duty Mobile, and Sony made the impossible smartphone for gamers with Xperia. I can get the edge with wider than widescreen, enhance my game literally with Game Enhancer, share my epic wins with the flick of a finger, and do it all while I keep my cool with HS Power Control. It's casual when I want to kick back, and core when I need to kick butt. It's the gaming experience built with me in mind. Sony brought the gear, and Call of Duty brought the game. Sony's Xperia plus Call of Duty Mobile. Because gamers deserve great, wherever we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Mobile Western Europe Regional Playoffs. My name is Bryce, and we have even more games for you right now, as well as a little bit of change in the staffing here on screen. We have removed Taves and replaced him with Bobby. Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I had a blast watching those games. Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed when I realized I wasn't going to get to cast either of them, and then I watched them happen, and they were over in 30 minutes. I was like, well, guess I didn't miss out on a whole lot.
No, it was very quick. It was very, very quick. But you know what? These teams have come to play today, right? And obviously we've got a ton of great teams going through, and we have our very first teams going to the grand final. Cold Esports, our bracket is almost done. Not quite, but it is just about getting there. Our winners bracket has basically concluded, and we now are looking at our lower bracket for this one, where our next game comes from as well. But if you are wondering exactly how this is currently happening, here's our double elimination lower bracket. You can see Kings Clan versus Team Singularity up to this point. And Bobby, since you're just now joining us here as well, Team Singularity have pretty much set on fire today with this one because they've had a fantastic start against Hammers. Was that something you were expecting?
Honestly, I was expecting Hammers to come out of the losers bracket. Seeing not only Singularity win, but the 3-0 and also the scores to each of the matches was absolutely shocking to me. I looked at the hardpoint score, and I believe Singularity actually won 150-11. So it's not even like they were playing the games closely. Even though we saw Hammers play really close the whole way with Cold Esports, who's really been the favorite, I don't know, because we didn't get to see as much of the games, if it was a matter of Hammers Esports not showing up, or if Singularity is just really focusing in today.
Well, we can only find out as we look on Singularity right now, and we do know that Cold Esports and Singularity consider each other rivals, so Singularity obviously want to get to that grand final to see if they can't give them a piece of their mind. They haven't had the opportunity to play them yet, but standing in their way, of course, is going to be Kings Clan, who just suffered a fairly devastating loss, but obviously they have that chance. Lower bracket now, you can get right back into this. The winner of this game will go into the grand finals. Ton, what do you think of Kings Clan?
I think they really need to step up. We know they're a lot better than what we just seen from them beforehand. And honestly, we didn't see enough from players like Nox. I need to see more from him. The snipe play on S&D wasn't there. Didn't really do a whole lot. The whole team really across the respawn game mode. So they need to take a step back, figure out what went wrong, which was mostly everything, and then just do better. In fairness, I just need to see them slay it a lot more because honestly, didn't see it whatsoever. I mean, I want to give credit to Cold Clan as well, of course, playing fantastically, but at the same time, Kings Clan not bringing their best A game at all in that winners bracket final, so hopefully they can find themselves on another level here against Singularity, who they've already beat before, so that should give them some confidence.
It certainly should, and one of the big things we do need to talk about here is the rivalry going on at the moment. We've got Narcs and Head for Death both listed each other as their rivals, and it's finally going to get to throw down in main stage again. Bobby, why is this is going to be a big rivalry, right, for players to name each other individually?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually seen the two play on the same team as each other at some points in the past as well, so I think they really are good friends, and typically friendships tend to make for the best rivalries, and especially given how long these guys have both been in the competitive scene for Call of Duty Mobile, I know it's going to be a really good matchup watching the two of them. Obviously, confidence is going to play a really big factor for both teams. Singularity coming into this red hot and Cold Esports coming in off of getting swept. So I'm definitely interested to see how that's going to factor in, as it looks like we are good to hop into the first game.
Well, here we go. Into it we go, and Team Singularity, what can they bring here? They've already come very hot, as you mentioned, off the back of a very good win against Hammers Esports, who are really looking like one of the favorites heading into the final day. So Singularity upsetting the odds here. If they can play in a similar fashion against Kings Clan, they've got a date in that grand finals against Cold Esports. Now, let's see if they can get something going here. Or can Kings Clan bring it back? These two already played on this map, and it was actually Singularity who walked away. Actually, no, that was the first game of the day. They played on Crash. So I'm interested to see how Hardpoint goes, but last time round, it was split as far as I'm aware, so let's see which way this one goes. Singularity, though, with a pretty slow start, but Kings Clan have got the rotation over towards P2. And Bobby, what are we looking out for specifically on standoff? It has to be that rotation to P2, right?
Yeah, the rotations are going to be big. How players play some of those tight angles. We'll likely see shotguns playing a big factor, and honestly, right now, it looks like Kings Clan is absolutely stomping, especially in the kills department. I believe pretty much dwarfing the numbers of Singularity, which is not what I was expecting to see, especially what we saw from those first couple games of the day. But Veer already up at 7, Narcs at 5, Inferno at 4, and Singularity's just really struggling to win those gunfights. Obviously, if you're not winning your gunfights, you're not going to be able to secure map position, you're not going to be able to make your rotations on time, everything's going to be slowed. And regardless, we still have Singularity on the hard point, so it seems like even with all that going against them, they're still managing to find things to go their way.
They are, and somebody who's really performed fantastically is Miney. We spoke to him yesterday, of course, and seen the clip of his quad kill on the S&D, specifically on this map as well, which was one of the standout moments of Saturday's games. He's having a good game so far as well, and Singularity are going to be able to lock down this final 10 seconds, and the rotation belongs to them as well. Slayer gets the kill for the scrap time and head for death now inside the point. He's got a good vantage point over top middle as well. Angel's there, so is XZ. We can already see Nox has managed to make the push through into the hard point as well. He's going to go down. Very, very easy kill for head for death. And it looks as if Singularity are locking this down nice and easily, but Vera's going to come in through the window, and that's going to get shut down, and Kings can't get a very, very nice break, a very clean one at that as well. It's only Sem left from Singularity inside there, who's going to find one himself. Slayer finds as well, so nobody really able to establish some sort of control here.
Yeah, that was a crucial break for them. Miney pushing into the hard point, actually allowing Singularity to get the retake right here. It looks like it's going to be a very back and forth game. We've already had multiple teams securing this one hard point, and it looks like Singularity will be able to hold it for the time being. 23 seconds left, and only one player on site for Kings Clan, unless he's able to pull off a crazy solo break. More than likely, we will see them setting up for that fourth hard point, which we do see right here. It is actually head for death playing that top head glitch, getting a couple crucial kills, and that could potentially allow them to get a break as they try to push into the next hard point too.
Well, Miney managed to find two with the War Machine before he was shut down with a well-placed incense, so let's see, can Singularity lock this one down? Although everything was coming in towards them, it seems as if they have managed to hold this one down. They can't quite win it here if they hold down every single point. But they're going to be attacked from a few different angles. It seems as if towards P2 they're able to lock that one down. Nox is the only one there causing problems. He goes down. Inferno around the other side of things though. What's that going to cause? Not too many problems, as it seems as if he's been taken down as well. So really good hold by Singularity so far. They've soaked up every single point they possibly could have here. XZ up round the back, should get cleaned up, realistically does so, and this is just a perfect setup from Singularity. Can head for death hold the front? He cannot. Distracted momentarily, his team spawn out behind the aggressors, and 20 seconds to play for here. This is important time for Kings Clan. If they can take it away from Singularity, they do not want Singularity to be within 10. They may well be if they can hold on to the rest of this time as we head back over towards the middle. And looking like a Singularity game so far after one rotation there, 60 or 50 points or so up as we head back over towards P1.
Yeah, Sem got a big solo break right there with the Annihilator in P4, but it looks like we are once again going back and forth. Obviously, really big lead for Singularity right now. They have a contested hard point, but with Narcs pushing outside, could get some big frags. He's able to do so. This is definitely a big break for Kings Clan, and honestly, if you're them, you got to be on edge right now, knowing that you can't give up a whole lot of time, especially on rotations. Not only do you need to try to hold for the entire duration of this hard point, but you got to be ahead on the next one as well. You can't give up too much. But Singularity has absolutely turned this one around. Every single player in double digits. After the start, it looked like they were going to get straight up out-fragged, but they've managed to get back into a rhythm, and it seems like they're returning to the form that we saw them in the first match of the day.
Ooh, now they've managed to actually get a hold of P1. They got rotation from the P2, but they can actually win on this middle hill. If they can keep a hold of it, it is going to be contested momentarily, and that might just do enough for Kings Clan to give themselves another hill here. But are they going to be close enough? Of course, we got the setup time for this next hill of around 8 seconds, and that's all that Kings Clan have got to try and get themselves over through the garage. Can they make it through the points here? Not quite. SEM and co locking this one down. Is there going to be anybody near here for Kings Clan? It looks like that is not the case. Singularity continue with how they've left off with a very convincing win against Kings Clan and map number 1. Very well played by Singularity once again.
Singularity have found some sort of final form today and really are just taking it to everyone. Bobby, why are they looking so dominant right now?
Off the start of that game, it really looked like Singularity was going to struggle. They weren't winning their gunfights. There was a pretty big kill disparity going the way of Kings Clan, but it was the rotations that really got them into that rhythm. Once they were set up on that second hard point, that allowed them to establish position. Once they had control of that and knew where to expect the enemy to come from, they were able to start winning those gunfights, and at that point, the momentum really swung in their favor, and they just didn't look back after it.
Well, if you're Kingsclan, you're a little bit worried right now, right? Because Singularity basically have just won 4 maps on the bounce. They've looked very, very good. Ton, how do you recover here if you're Kingsclan? Like, what do you do?
It's very hard. They need a leader in there to sort of start talking to them and say, right, come on, we know we are significantly better than this. What's going on? We need to decipher that very, very quickly. But at the same time, you're heading into a very different game mode with Search and Destroy outside of Hardpoint, of course. It's not nearly as quick, and you can maybe try and find something there. They need a spark to get the fire going, I feel. And if they can win the S&D, we can maybe see them come back. However, we need to see a lot more, don't we? I mean, we're not seeing any of the Slayers that we seen going off yesterday, are we? At all. So I think that is one of the bigger issues. Singularity themselves, though, their Slayers are playing fantastic. The Slayer as well himself is doing very, very well, as is Miney, of course. It's what we've come to expect, but Singularity just seem to be getting better and better.
Oh, they certainly do. And here are the maps, by the way, that we are going to be seeing. Of course, we've just seen Standoff Hardpoint. Team Singularity took that 150 to 101. We are now moving into Meltdown, Search and Destroy, then Firing Range Dom. If the game doesn't end there, of course, we will go to map 4, Crash Point. And if we get all the way to map 5, we will end this on a Crossfire, Search and Destroy. Bobby, Meltdown, S&D, do you have any hopes for Kingsclan or Singularity looking too good today?
If there's going to be a map where Narcs is going to be able to bounce back, it's definitely going to be Meltdown, especially if they're able to get a pretty aggressive push over toward the B site, having that sniper's nest overlooking the entire bomb site is definitely a great opportunity, but you got to keep in mind there are some great snipers over on Singularity as well that could very well be able to counter it. If the snipes are not falling, obviously they've also got the opportunity to go push toward the A side, and that provides more close range angles, so a lot of it's just going to come down to how the snipers are feeling. That's probably what's going to dictate a lot of how this Search and Destroy on Meltdown is going to be played.
All right, well, I think we're going to find out because I believe the game is about to start. Let's find out who makes it to our grand final on the Search and Destroy. It could be Kingsclan if they can find a new form today. But let's jump straight into this game. Over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Brycey. Into the S&D we go, and it looks like a massive B hit about to come straight in Kingsclan. I could deal with seeing them get some early rounds here. It really would help them in their case, and immediately First Blood is going to go in the favour of Team Singularity. A very good start from their side of things. They're going to find another as well momentarily, 4v3, but well played by Miney and Head for Death here. Now a 3v1 actually in favour of Team Singularity. Can they get this one going? Looking good for them so far, but Kingsclan once again just being outslayed across the map here, Bobby.
Yeah, Inferno all by himself with the 3 remaining Singularity players. Just no type of momentum right now for Kingsclan. They've got to figure out something. It doesn't seem like they had much of an impact with a sniper. I'm not even sure if they had a sniper in play. More than likely, off the start of the next game, we'll probably see them play a little bit more passive, likely sitting outside of that A site, waiting to get a pick or a push in before they try to take a different approach, because obviously the aggressive B-side push just did not work for them. Inferno is going to go here to Boiler Rooms to see if he can manage to find a pick, but everybody down on generators for Singularity right now. He will find a beautiful shot on the ice block, and that HVK that he's using actually recently got a buff. Incredible headshot damage on that. Obviously, the head was the only thing he could see on that angle. That meant an easy kill for him, and now in a 1v1, could clutch the 1v3. Slayer says not today, and it is Singularity coming out on top.
A very close round, and I feel as if that's just one that's going to continue to be painful for Kingsclan here. They lose, their 4th map in a row, and just lose a 1v1, and nearly a 1v3 coming out as well for them, and it's got to be painful. Every single one of these close moments just further and further gives that confidence no help whatsoever. But Kingsclan, can they get anything going here? Singularity looking very, very good. 2 kills for Slayer in that round. Good job that he had that Fennec towards the end, because up close and personal, that's always going to win it against the HVK.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like I expected, they are playing passive off the start, and it's still actually it does go their way as Eggsy is able to take out Slayer. That should open up some options for them to be able to push to whatever site they're trying to favor right now with the guns in play. It looks like more than likely we'll see a B push. We do have Narcs with the sniper out, and over on the B site is where you're going to have the advantage with it. Eggsy up in the boiler rooms could potentially get an easy frag over on the generator side as well. Not trying to take any long angles with that, though. We do have Narcs overlooking the site, hasn't hopped up into the sniper's nest, and may have a counter push over toward the A site. It seems like they have faked out Singularity for the time being.
It's looking that way. Singularity all at sea here as King's Clan make the move round. A bomb is going down and knocks down the one to cover the back. That bomb will eventually get put down and is now down. 45 seconds for Singularity to get themselves over and get this one defused. It's a very hard site to retake, but there is multiple different angles. It takes one side of the reactor to get taken by the offensive side, and then all of a sudden things can fall into place. It's a good smoke that's going to get pushed through, but Miney found the first kill. Via will trade that one out, but he will get taken down himself. Iceblock helping out Sam. XC, though, is going to trade this one away, so Iceblock now left alone with Head for Death. Can they get anything done here? It's a 2v3 for Singularity to try and pull off. XZ coming around behind with the shotgun, and Nox cleans it up with the pistol. That's one apiece now, and that's a round that King's Clan really did need.
Yeah, that's exactly what I expected from King's Clan. They executed that perfectly, played it passive, waited till they got a pick. They got pretty good bearings on what Singularity was going to be doing, and once they felt pretty confident they were going to be safe doing it, made the rotation over toward the A site, definitely expecting we will see a similar strategy right here as we do see Angel up in that top side, trying to peek out that window and see if he can manage to relay some information to his team. No picks on the board yet. We do have Inferno throwing out the cryo bomb, potentially just trying to bait the other team a little bit. He's going to sit top side of generators and actually getting a little aggressive here. There's 3 players on the other side. Probably not an ideal push, but he does pick up a frag onto Ice Block. He's going to be able to push up into boiler rooms as well. Probably going to spot Sem there, and it is now a 2-player advantage for King's Clan.
And there's a 5v3, and wow, Inferno is frying with this HVK. 5 kills in a row for him. He is going to go down, but now it's a 4v2. Singularity really getting picked apart by Inferno here. They need to get tabs on him as soon as they can. But Slayer with the Fennec now. Going to try and make the push into A, but there's plenty of men here from King's Clan. Via with the drop shot. Nox comes with a snipe kill as well. Miney going down. That's 2 crucial rounds for King's Clan. Feels as if the game was maybe just slipping away from them a little bit, but fantastic play from them here in the losers bracket finals. 2-1 now, and still a game on our hands.
King's Clan is without a doubt a phenomenal team. They've shown yesterday they were able to take out Singularity, so it's not surprising to see them playing this well in the Search and Destroy, especially given their performances yesterday. Definitely expecting to continue to see big things out of Inferno, and not surprised at all to see that HVK in play, especially given what a high skill gap weapon it is. People that are able to hit the upper body and headshots are going to be rewarded greatly, and we've seen that time again so far as he's already got 5 kills through 3 rounds. No first blood yet, as we actually see Singularity defending the A site. Probably the right move for them, and Inferno almost taken out. He might be able to escape right here, but the push coming out of King's Clan a little bit slower this time than it has been in previous rounds.
Yep, a little bit of a slower one, as you said. Neither team really taking the initiative here, and happy to sit and wait, and this works out for the defensive team, which is Singularity. King's Clan don't look like they're stacking towards it, maybe waiting for a kill to come through and then making their move, or are they just trying to bait out? Via now does have this bomb and will make the push through. Gets into sight, pretty much free here as well. Trophy system taken down as well. Don't feel as if he really needed to do that, because now they can get the bomb down, but they are aware of what's going on here. Singularity. XZ will find 1 and 2 before he does go down. So really good work from him. Singularity now down to only 3 members, and it's 4 for King's Clan. Miney looking like he could get around behind. I'm interested to see what he's going to do on the flank as Iceblock just tries to provide some sort of distraction. Miney can't find anybody, still searching around on the flank. 27 seconds left to go as well. He could do with finding a kill. Inferno is going to take down Iceblock though, and all of a sudden it's Miney left all alone. A very capable player, but a 1v3, technically 1v4, and a bomb defuse at this time in the round is looking unlikely. King's Clan will now take a 3-1 lead, or should do at least anyway. Eventually, Angel is going to come around behind and find the kill onto Miney. I was confident that they were going to win that one, making a bit of a meal of it there, Bobby, but in the end, they do get the win, and that's 3-1 to Kings Clan.
Yeah, they've just looked so calm, cool, and calculated so far. Ever since that first round, they got super aggressive. They pushed the B site unnecessarily hard. I think they wanted a really strong start, and they weren't able to get it. But ever since they've decided to play it a little more passive, they've been able to focus more on getting that first pick than they have on actually getting the bomb down. It's 100% gone their way, and we've seen 3 rounds in a row going their way. The offensive side's very clearly in control. Whether or not they'll be able to continue that once they move over on defense is going to be a very different story, but we are going to have a B plant coming in right here, which will once again give Kings Clan the advantage. They do have Miney taking out Angel right there, so the first time they've been down a man in a while. Marks very quickly gets the snipe onto Slayer, and just like that, we got 4 men apiece.
Now let's see as the round does slow down if Singularity can do anything here. They never really seem to have an advantage in any of these rounds. Kings Clan just seem to get those picks at the beginning, but the kills start to flurry on through. All of a sudden it is a 3v2 in favor of Kings Clan. Icehawk looking for some shots down this left-hand side towards Generators as Head for Death finds one, as does Inferno. Though all of a sudden it's a 1v1. Ice Block against XZ, and XZ usually has that shotgun in hand. Has Ice Block seen him though? The shot's coming through. Yes, he has. And it will be Singularity not able to defuse the bomb in time. 4-1 now. Good shots coming in there, but just not enough time. XZ, very, very well placed. Just whittled that clock down. 4-1 now. Fantastic, fantastic play coming out of Kings Clan. And this is the kind of map we said that they need. A good S&D performance really can reset the mental attitude of your team. And now Kings Clan looking to defend A is Singularity converging on it all together. XZ and Angel are combining well. It's such a well-held defense. All of a sudden it is 3 versus 2. Singularity falling apart here.
Yeah, very, very well executed on the defensive side by Kings Clan. We do have Inferno taking out Slayer, and it looks like the aggressive approach so far on this map is not the move. We saw right there the exact same thing happen to Singularity that happened to Kings Clan the first time they tried to push the B side very, very aggressively. It seemed like a good move until you started getting picked apart, and once you lose one player, the rest follow very quickly. So it is now game point for Kings Clan. They are definitely looking like they're going to even things up at 5-1. They've been so good so far. XZ and Inferno combining for 18 kills, and XZ having a really big play at the end of that last offensive round where he was able to play time. Even though he didn't get the kill, they were able to pick up the round. That was absolutely a game changer for them, looking like they could close things out right here.
Should be able to here, Kings Clan. It's a slower offense coming out of Singularity here. It seems like Singularity just don't have a plan. It seems like they're just sort of headbutting stuff and seeing if it works. And yes, okay, that works fantastically in hardpoint maybe sometimes if you are wanting to try and get a break and, you know, playing really fast Call of Duty. But at this moment in time, Kings Clan sit and pray. They're very, very happy to just hold this defense. It's seen that this push is going to come in here from Singularity up the stairs. The molly's already put in though, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. Via is going to find Ice Block. Head for Death though is able to answer that one back, but the kills all flying on through. All of a sudden, Kings Clan have got it done. 6-1, a convincing S&D performance, and it's exactly what they needed after a flurry of maps they just lost to Raw S&D. Coming up trumps for that.
Well, there we go. Kings Clan turning it around. And Bobby, I'll give full credit to you. You said, you know, this could be the map they should turn it around on and kind of rebound for them. But that is one incredible rebound, right? From they lost the first round and then just 6-0'd them essentially all the way through. Is this just something we expect to see out of Kings Clan on S&D?
Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised to see that they were able to handle that so easily, especially how good Singularity was in the first game of the matchup. It is a very different strategy going from hardpoint to search and destroy, and it just seemed like Kings Clan had much better strategy going into that one, and there wasn't really anything that Singularity could do. Once Kings Clan had established what their game plan was going to be, they were getting all the first bloods, they were getting the bomb plants down. Singularity had no idea what to do in order to counter, and basically perfect execution coming out of Kings Clan after that.
All right, well, it turns out we're all tied up now, 1-1. Either team could now move forward to the grand finals, but we will find out right after this quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more action for you coming up soon.
You know what phrase we can finally retire? Good. For a mobile game. Fun fact, Sony's been getting the best out of entertainment and technology for, like, ever. And Call of Duty has been making games since, well, before some of us were born. Isn't it about time we had a mobile gaming experience that's just good, period? Maybe even great? Turns out we do. Call of Duty made the impossible mobile game with Call of Duty Mobile, and Sony made the impossible smartphone for gamers with Xperia. I can get the edge with wider than widescreen, enhance my game literally with Game Enhancer, share my epic wins with the flick of a finger, and do it all while I keep my cool with HS Power Control. It's casual when I want to kick back, and core when I need to kick butt. It's the gaming experience built with me in mind. Sony brought the gear, and Call of Duty brought the game. Sony's Xperia plus Call of Duty Mobile. Because gamers deserve great, wherever we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Mobile Regional Playoffs for Western Europe. My name is Bryce and we are going into our map 3 here in the losers final. It is currently 1-1 between these two wonderful teams. Team Singularity, who had a great run in the losers bracket, and Kings Clan, who just dropped down from the winners. But they've tied it up. They're going into map 3 domination. Ton, how's this going to go? Because I have no idea now.
It's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, I think after the first map, we've seen Singularity dominate. We would have just thought, okay, well, this is going to be a 3-0 sweep. The way that Singularity have been playing this morning, the way that Kings Clan have been playing this morning. But then I think Kings Clan are still going to be a little bit worried. Yes, okay, they played that S&D, and it could be the map that's like ignites that fire. However, at the same time, Singularity completely outslayed them on the hard point. This is a bit more of a Slayer heavy kind of mode domination. Let's see how it works out here for Kings Clan. I think if they don't get slain, it could very quickly spiral to a 3-1 Singularity. But at the same time, they've got that S&D. They can then say to themselves, right, let's take one of these other two respawn game modes in the domination and hard point, and all of a sudden you've got a map 5 S&D. So you never know.
Well,
so I don't think I actually answered your question, to be honest with you.
No, you didn't. But I'll move on. I'll forgive you for this. I'll forgive you this. Because obviously we just need to keep going into the matches, right? Domination up next. Now, if I remember correctly, it was actually Singularity that won this last time around. These two teams played by a bit of a comeback. Let's see what happens this time around as we get into Team Singularity. Kings Clan, it's map 3. Over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Brycey, and once again into domination, and let's see how it goes this time round. Singularity, though, are the ones that you feel as if they are slaying a little bit better, but have King's Clan eventually warmed up here this morning, Bobby? It was a very, very slow start from them. 4 maps in a row they lost. They were on the verge of going out here, but winning that S&D has given them hope in this series and hope in this tournament. Can they compound their efforts here on domination and take a lead in the series?
Seeing them play as well as they did in Search and Destroy probably gave them hope. It gave me hope as well. As somebody who loves good competition, I definitely wanted to see these two teams really go at it. So seeing them hop into domination should be very interesting. This is actually a mode that King's Clan has really struggled on so far, not in regards to the fact that they haven't been able to get map control or capturing the points, but it seems like they've never really played the score streaks that are going to be most advantageous to help them win this. We've seen a lot of times where they've been very far ahead early on in the game, and they end up losing at the end because they don't have a counter for the score streaks the opposing team's coming in, and they also don't have some of those higher value score streaks like the Goliath, the VTOL. They do tend to have the cluster strike, but none of those score streaks that really last a long time. So we do see them getting some progress on the B flag. It looks like they're going to be able to close it out right there, and that's not too surprising to see. What it's really going to come down to is whether or not they're going to be able to get those score streaks online that are going to give them the best chance of winning.
It has come down to a lot of score streaks, hasn't it? And this is coming down to a bit of a rotation around the map. Is anybody going to be able to get there? It's not looking likely as Nox and Inferno pick up 2 piece apiece. Good play by them. It will keep Singularity off that B point. But it's interesting to see how the score streaks do work out this time. I remember the Goliaths that we had on top 10. I mean, it's just so difficult to combat against that, isn't it, really? And now King's Clan, they don't need to do a great deal. They need to sit back and wait to see if the push does come through. But we can see Singularity trying to distract with pushes towards the home hill. This might be a good opportunity to get a hold of B, actually. But Inferno up top for King's Clan should be there to clean up the pieces. Can he find the shots to find the kill? Not quite. Is B going to go over towards Singularity? Yes, it is. Ice blocking Head for Death, putting together some kills as well. It's a very, very good move by Singularity.
Yeah, that was a pretty big missed opportunity for Inferno. He had the power position, ultimate overlooking spot onto the B site, but just wasn't able to pick up the kills right there. We got Head for Death with the War Machine. Actually ends up suiciding right there, and that's not what you'd like to see if you are Singularity. You're trying to get max value out of every one of those operators, and that's another really big factor in combating some of those score streaks. A lot of times the best way to go up against a Goliath or a VTOL is with an Annihilator or a War Machine. So you typically like to see players play a little bit more passive whenever they do finally get those into play. It's actually Singularity retaking the lead right now after a little bit of a slow start. We may have a retake over on the B flag, and we do coming in for King's Clan, but we can still see right here, they don't have a whole lot of high value score streaks in play right now. We'll take a look at some of the other players to see if there are any. It does look like Inferno has a Goliath, so that's definitely a good sign for them.
Definitely is a good sign. Goliath now available for Inferno. So can something happen here for King's Clan? Can they take a lead in this series? They do have a hold of B, but we are going to be heading into the half in a second. Looks like King's Clan aren't going to be the first ones to get there. 75 points is the limit for one side, and they will tick that in with a 7-point lead heading into the second half. If you're King's Clan, are you happy about that one there, Bobby? A 7-point lead, is that enough you feel to really warrant anything different from King's Clan, or do you just play the same game in the second half?
They should definitely be happy about a 7-point lead, but at the same time, there's been so many games where we've seen them with the lead going into the half at domination, and they've just not been able to close it out because, like I said before, they hadn't been playing those correct score streaks. We do have Inferno, not only with a Goliath, but also with the Pred Missile, which is one of the best counters for a Goliath on the other team. So another thing they're definitely going to have to take into consideration is how they use their Pred Missiles and try to hold on to those as long as possible to get max value out of them. It's an easy one-shot onto a Goliath, and when you consider how many points it takes to get a Pred Missile versus how many points it takes to get a Goliath and the amount of damage that a Goliath can do, it's absolutely worth it to keep holding on to that, even if it is for a little bit longer than you would like to. We do have solo caps, a little bit of progress on the B flag coming in for King's Clan as well. If they're able to close that B cap out, there's a very good chance that they'll be able to come through in this game.
You would think so, but looking towards the stats, Singularity so far within this tournament have outperformed King's Clan in domination. At this moment in time, King's Clan have struggled to slay on domination. Only it is actually Narcs that has a positive KD across this game mode, but on the other side of things, Singularity, every single one of them positive, -1 player in Ice Block throughout domination. So Singularity feeling confident on domination, and they may feel confident about getting this B hill here now as well. We can see the kills are coming through. Can Sem find the second kill? Not quite. It's going to start getting to the point very, very shortly where streaks are going to start coming into play. And if you're Singularity, it has to be from you. They have to be proactive from Singularity. They have to make sure they find something with these streaks. We can see the kills are starting to come in now, though. There's 3 in a row without answer, and this may well be B. XZ, though, is going to make the push with a shotgun. He's going to shut that one down as well. Inferno starts to call in streaks as well himself, so here we go for King's Clan as well. It's only a 5-point game still. Nobody will get a hold of B. Here come the streaks as well. This could be B for Singularity. There's not enough of them there, though. And look at all those kills coming in here for King's Clan. Yeah, the pressure is still here for Singularity, though. They have pressure in the maps where they need to. They have got control of 10. They've got a lot of pressure on the B already. They may just take that in. They're very close to doing so. Is there anybody there to clean up for Singularity? Not quite. And here comes the Goliath into B for King's Clan. This could be the game for them now.
Yeah, so this is the point where you really wish that you had a friend missile in play if you are Singularity. We actually see one coming in to save the Goliath right there regardless. Still not able to get control of the B flag. Inferno's going to hop down onto it in very good chance. He does close it out right there. However, we've got 2 Goliaths in play. Neither has a ton of it. Actually, Head for Death is currently at